right now, and this is my peach tree here, and here's some yummy juicy peaches ready for the harvest. So let's grab a few of them, and you see a few here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a few of them, and just look at them, how beautiful they are. This is a good mix of a little bit of sourness and a little bit of sweetness. So you keep guessing, what are we gonna do with these peaches? I'll catch you later. Alright guys, so we got the peaches from my backyard, and so today what we're gonna make is cheese Danish with these peaches, and this is going to be absolutely gluten-free. So you know I always replace the flour with almond flour or coconut flour. So let's go and get our ingredients. I already have taken 2 eggs. Well, I just had this one last left, so I thought I'll just use it. So I've taken 2 eggs. And all right, so I've got my almond flour here, and I'm gonna take about a cup of it. I've got a cup of almond flour, and you could just grab any almond flour you get from the stores. I like to get the organic one, and then I got the if you want to make it for in a larger batch, more quantity of cheese Danish with the peaches, you might want to just double the amounts of whatever I'm using. And what I've done is I've also gone ahead and sliced these juicy yummy peaches, and I have got them here. So they're perfectly sliced. Keep them ready. And you don't have to worry about them. They don't really go too much blanched. They stay kind of just like that as when you cut them and for a while, so you don't have to worry much. And then what I've done is I actually made this already, so I'll tell you what I made and how I made it. This is nothing but Greek yogurt. You could just go grab any Greek yogurt. I get Chobani Greek yogurt. I love Greek yogurt. And what I did is I just took a few blueberries and I smashed them into the Greek yogurt. So you could, and I mixed a little bit of around, let's just say 1/4 cup of, which is this much of cream cheese into it. So I took very little of Greek yogurt and I mixed a lot of cream cheese. So in the cream cheese, it's the blueberries crushed, or you just mix it up and they automatically get crushed. So this is gonna go into this, and before that I'm gonna get my eggs. I got my egg here, and I'm gonna go ahead and start getting it mixed. A lot of people do use baking soda, baking powders. I try to avoid them as much as possible, but there are some other recipes wherein I absolutely need them, and probably I'll just go a pinch here and there. So go ahead and feel free to add baking soda. I just added probably just a pinch of it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add my other one too, egg. Got this here. And I probably will start kneading this into a proper dough. So meanwhile, guys, write in your comments, how did you spend your quarantine, self-isolation, lockdown period? What all did you eat? I ate crazy amount of food. Well, actually it was not that bad. I ate once or twice spicy, yummy food. But you go ahead and tell me, what all did you eat? How did you enjoy the food? What were your favorite, recipes that you made, and how did they turn out? So I got this here, and I'm gonna go ahead and start kneading them. Since I already have egg, which is gonna act as my binding agent, help me make it into a proper dough. I'm not going to use xanthan, which is a binding agent again. Some people use it when they use almond flour or coconut flour so that it kind of binds together. But since we have our egg, so I'm gonna go ahead and, no, I don't want to add these cream cheese now. Let me first finish the flour, and I'm gonna add just a little bit more. Feel free to add and adjust so that you get a very nice, neat dough that we usually make. Now, also people tell me, how did you like my previous videos, the previous ones before I posted during the, before the whole isolation period? Yeah, I know what you're all thinking. Not so fun, right? I think we all need to once in a while, you know, count our blessings and just have our patience and stay calm, and you know, just keep ourselves as positive as possible. Eventually get over it and we'll come out good, healthy. See, at the end of the day, all that matters is ourselves, our loved ones, dear ones, everybody's safe, fine and healthy. So that's all really is important, right? So I am getting a good consistency dough. I'm gonna go ahead and start putting my fingers into it, and I like that nice smooth dough coming out. So it is a little bit sticky, so I'm gonna go ahead and start adjusting. It's not bad. And if you want, you can also add a few drops of olive oil into it. So I'll go ahead and add those. You go ahead and add your oil. All right, so after a few drops of oil and the kneading done, I have my perfect dough, which is over here. So I'm gonna make a few small balls out of these, and we'll get those onto a baking pan with a parchment paper in it. Okay, so I'm gonna take small chunks of the dough and I'm gonna turn them into the balls like these. So you go ahead and start making as many peach cheese danishes as you want. And then once you make the dough balls, you can just actually go ahead and gently press it down so that you have at least about 1/4 inch of width. So I'm gonna go ahead and start pressing them on top of the sheet. That's where it's a little easier on the parchment sheet. And you can go ahead and start doing that. So I get this width here, as you see. Alright guys, so I have gone ahead and got my almond flour base done, and of about 1/4 inch of them, and enough sizes for about, like, you know, they're of a size of a cookie or a biscuit. So you can go ahead and make your whatever size you want. And now what I've done is, if you remember in the beginning we were talking about the cream cheese with the mashed blueberries, and I went ahead and it was a bit very dry. So to kind of soften up a little bit, I put it in the microwave for about 30, 40, 50, 60 seconds. Just check it out so that you just, you know, it should be a little loosened up so you can make your cheese on top of the Danish. So I'm gonna go ahead and run about a teaspoon full of them in the center of these Danishes. Oh my god, the smell of the cheese, cream cheese with the blueberries is so good. Oh man. So this is going to be our base, and a lot of people, if you want to make it a little more sweeter, go ahead, add honey, or you want to add sugar, go ahead and add sugar. If you want to add any flavors, I sometimes like to add a vanilla extract into the almond flour when I'm making it a dough. You guys go ahead if you want to add, depending upon how sweet you want it. I'm keeping it quite natural. All the natural sweetness that's already there in the almond flour, the sweetness that's already there in the peaches, the sweetness that's already there in the blueberries. So I'm gonna go ahead and rely on all of these sweet things. And so let's snap all of this on this, coat them nicely, a nice layer, so that when you just get the first bite, you want to get a nice amount of the cheese with the blueberry flavor in it, along with the crisp cookie base. And I have just a little bit left, which will be perfect for the last Danish. And okay, all right. So here it is, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a quick peek on how I've spread this up here. Not too much, not too much, just enough. Should be good. I know sometimes I love to go overboard, but I've gone a lot of overboard in this lockdown period. So I have to get back. And this is how they look. So look at them. They have enough teaspoon. Each of them has a teaspoonful of blueberry cream cheese coated there on top of the almond flour biscuits very well. So now is the magic time. Guys, when I was trying to cut the peaches, they were so juicy. Half of them I just end up eating, and whatever remaining, I try to manage them to get it on the plate here. So you want to just go ahead and cut them into thin slices like these, and you want to start layering them on top of your Danish. I will show you. Don't worry, no rush. You're not missing out anything. I'm gonna make sure I show you. So place them as many as you want. I like the nice good amount of peaches. Well, they are very thin slices, so that when you take that bite, you just want to, along with that cream cheese and the crisp biscuit, you also want to get that juicy sweet peach. Yay! And guys, this time peaches, I have got a very good harvest this time. Touch wood. There is a lot of work that goes into it, and usually peaches also, they harvest twice a year. Once during the spring summerish, and the other time is during the fall. So I do get a good peaches. Well, the number of peaches during the spring is definitely more. There's more produce, more harvesting happening in the spring. But I think this year I harvested, there's still a few more left on the tree, the one you saw. I harvested around 70 to 200. And so this is how it's going to look. Take a good look. I have spread all my peaches on top of them. Here it is. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same for the remaining ones, and I will show you how it's going to look. I've gone ahead and got everything done. Look at these beauties. They're so bright, right? Can't wait. All right, so while I was doing all the jibber jabber, I turned on the oven to about 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and it is in the preheat right now. In another few minutes, it's gonna buzzer. So these cuties are gonna go into the oven, and for about 10 to 12 minutes. Again, this timing, you gotta be a little careful. It depends upon the thickness of your almond flour dough. So if you have like really good thick, you probably want to go 2-3 minutes extra, and if you are it's like too thin, then you probably want to go lesser time. That's because you don't want to burn them up. So 10 minutes is definitely good, and then after 10 minutes just try to monitor and see if they are ready and crisp. And again, this is one tip I always keep in mind and want to share with you guys is in oven, never ever get deceived by the color. So what happens is when you're looking in the oven and picking them and it's like, oh, they look still yellow, they're not brown or they're not red yet, and then you want to wait for a few more minutes. But what happens is when they're yellow or when they're almost done, just try to grab them out. What happens is it still has the heat and temperature in it, and with the remaining temperature it's gonna cook up the rest of it. So most of the times if you keep thinking, oh, the color is not there yet in the oven, and then when you leave it, it tends to become too much more brown, more burny tasting. So when I feel it's almost there, it's almost ready, it's good yellow, and now it's gonna turn into the brown, I just grab it out and just leave it on the platform for some time, and you will see that the color begins to change. So as it cools down, it's gonna take that browny color. All right, so enough of talk. These guys are gonna go into the oven, and we will be mesmerized with the fragrance of sweet peaches. While I was cutting these peaches, I wanted to show you how juicy they are. Just take a look at this. They're so red, and you just see how squishy and juicy already they are. I was trying to cut it, and they're like, oh, you're not strong enough, so I just might as well go ahead and eat them. They are simply perfect. Sour a little bit, a lot of juicy. Here, take a look. Just perfectly ripe. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy these. I know I really wish you all could have, but just go grab a few peaches from the store, wherever you can get, and make this recipe. Guys, I got the peach cheese Danish ready out of the oven, and they are perfectly baked. So depending upon my width and the size of the dough, I kept it in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes, and here they are perfectly baked. I'm going to take one and show you. Now they are perfectly crisp. Here it is, and the peaches are nicely melted, but they still have the structure, so it's not like too mushy. So when you take a bite, they're not just gonna ooze out from all over. So they look so good. And then I checked even at the bottom you see it's not burnt. It's perfectly, here it is. So it's a nice crisp cookie or a biscuit size, and here it is. I'm gonna let it, I can't wait, but I am gonna wait to let it cool down. It's a little bit too hot to go into my mouth, but guys, try it out. You will love it. And what better ways to eat peaches? There are so many new recipes that's gonna come up on these peaches because I have harvested so many. So comment in the box below and tell me what other keto friendly gluten-free peaches recipes you want me to make and enjoy. Until then, here it is. Like I said, because I cut the peach with the peel, I did not take off the peel. The structure is still intact and it nicely melts the juicy part of it. And the cookie itself is so crisp. It's not too tight and it's not too loose. The dough was really good, soft and supple. So the cookies are also good, soft. And the nice cream cheese with the blueberries is definitely hitting my buds. You want to try one? Alright guys, there are a few folks here who want to try these, dig into them. So you go ahead, try it out, let me know how it turned out for you and comment below. Until then, bye.